Right, let's do a video on this weekend. I've got a lot to talk about, but I'm just doing this part first, which is the end of the day, because it's getting dark and I want to show my bike. So I pulled apart the scooter, including things like the handlebars, to see what really is compatible with the new Kymco, and I've learnt a lot. What's this one do? Oh. But I have learnt a lot. But we'll get to that. Oh, look how laggy the camera is. That's alright, it's not a problem. Let's go inside. Alright. Let's talk about... Well, let's talk about the past 2 days. And does that include Friday? I'm not sure. That video is really laggy, isn't it? It shouldn't be, because the phone's got 80% battery. I'm gonna stop it, let the phone... Alright, take number 3. I said a name. Alright, but at least I know what I'm on about, because I've done the video before. So, it's Saturday morning. Bright and early, around 6 o'clock, we all got ready to go to the G. And we were going down there because we got to go and see my Zia, or my great Zia. It's my dad's Zia. Because she's 80 years old, she's not healthy, and she could... you know, sooner or later. That sounds very rude. But anyway, so it was a really good trip on the way down. Everyone was happy. I didn't really behave on the way back. I was a little bit cranky. But on the way down to the G, everything was good. I had plans. I've made plans, I think, Friday with my R1 mate to stay over. Everything was all planned and booked. So, on Saturday, I went and saw Ada, and it was really, really good to see her. For my memory, that is my drinking pal, his wife. He's passed away, but his wife is alive, so I went and saw my drinking buddy's wife. And she really, really good to see her. And then we went to my Zia's 80th birthday. Everything was going fine, but I was always looking at my clock, because at 1? No, 3? No, I think it was 1. I don't know. I made plans to go to my R1's friend's house. Things were dragging on, because we stayed so long with Ada, then we were staying so long at the party, and I was looking and looking. And then my mother's just like, oh, well, they haven't done the cake yet, and we're still talking, we're still socializing, we don't want to leave. And I was like, I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. So I had to regrettably, I had to ring up my R1 friend's partner. R1 friend was at work. And I said to her, look, I have to cancel, because even though my mother said, ring them up, make plans with them, because I don't want you in a hotel room, she now has changed her mind, because the time wasn't going to schedule, and she's like, well, cancel them, even though we made plans with them, late minute, and you can stay with us. So I regrettably rang up her, and she's like, oh, are you sure? I said, well, I have to. I said, I'm sorry, I have to. But eventually, she sent me a text, and it was very nice, and it felt warm and convincing, and I was like, alright, so she was super, super nice and drove 30 minutes to pick me up, which is like she left her city and went to the country, which is probably 45 minutes to be honest. Picked me up, I sent him some money, I sent him 20 bucks of fuel, hopefully that covers it, and things were back on schedule. It was good, it was really nice. The two were a little bit indecisive about dinner. They wanted to go to a Christmas party but at the same time, it was rainy, wet, shit weather, and she just got off work, and she wasn't in the mood, and he was sort of in the mood. Anyway, after probably about an hour at their house, they eventually went, yeah, alright, let's go. She's like, I should go, it's my work Christmas party, let's go. So it was at the jail, the old jail. And it was alright, you know. I really enjoyed the music, and the food that I did have was really nice. I had I have no idea what you call it, and I don't want to say what I call it, because it's sort of racist. A Vietnamese roll. That's what they call it in Australia. I had a really, really nice Vietnamese roll. And even my one friend had one. He's like, dude, that was probably like the highlight. He said, like, the food-wise. I was like, yeah, man, it was nice. She had a burger, I think. Yeah, and some kind of Greek flatbread with, like, food in it. I don't know what you call it. But it was a good Christmas party. If it like the weather killed it. The weather was crap. Constantly raining, and I wasn't cold, but I was sort of shivering, but it's only because I wasn't doing anything to keep myself productive or warm. Like, my other one friend's like, dude, you were cold. I was like, yes, but it's only because I'm not doing a lot. Anyway, after the whole Christmas party thing, we just relaxed. It was really nice. We just played a little bit of JACKBOX, number 11. We had a bit of internet troubles, but eventually we got there. We watched 3 different kinds of anime, I think. Oh, hang on. I have to do it after. And I'm gonna have to do it now. Alright, we'll try this again. Anyway, so we were talking about JACKBOX, I think? Yeah, and we watched animes. We watched some that Hero Academy one with the guy with the green hair. We watched One Punch Man. And we watched... No, I think that was it. I think I fell asleep in the One Punch Man. I was getting pretty tired though. It was around 10. I think that was it. I had a really good sleep, really nice sleep. I woke up, I thought I'd do something nice for them, and I do love to cook. So I made them pancakes. I went to make them crepes, but they turned out more like pancakes. But it was alright. They were limited. I didn't actually make many out of the batch that I had, which was my own stupidity. But they were alright. With the jam, they were better. They weren't my best. I really was hoping I'd make something better. Anyway, it got later and later, and my mother still wasn't there. It got to around 10 o'clock and they bloody came. But to waste time, we watched, just Foul Army, funny cat animal videos, and then to end it off, me and my other one friend played Boomerang Kung Fu. It's a good game. I really enjoyed the time with them. We didn't do a lot, but just like being accompanied with them just felt nice. And it was really good. I saw their new house, and I saw a little bit of his train hobby, and we did play JACKBOX, but it was just nice, We talked about their friends. One of them's in America at the moment, and I don't know what the bloke's doing. But we did talk about him, and it was good. We all just chatted, and it was really nice. This morning, though, I didn't go as planned. It was delay after, it was like delay after delay after delay after delay. It was just a joke. I mean, I do understand the delays. I shouldn't be rude, but I really was. I was a bit of an arsehole. I was a bit of a cunt, to be honest, today. I sort of was. But I'm working on my emotions, and That's why I have a shrink. But you know, we saw the two graves, Nana and Pa, Nuna and Nono, and saw a couple Italians, and I had a small great chat with my R1 friend. He's restoring some cars. It was hard to talk to him because I was losing a lot of signal, but he's making progress, which is really good to see because he has some cars there that have been sitting there for a while. But he's making progress, and it's good because he's making progress. Good on him. And then at home, when eventually we got the home, I went to the scooter, pulled it apart because I've been doing a lot of research at this. Let me load it up. This 2 manuals for the Kymcos. And yes, but I've been doing that, and yeah, it's been good. Start off. I don't know actually, but yeah, it's been nice, and I had a good time, and nothing's working. Whatever, I'll load it after. I don't know why that's not working. That one's working. Shit. Anyways, I'm glad today's over, but I had a good time, and I'm getting distracted. I had a good time, and I'm glad I'm home, but I did enjoy my time down. Seeing my mates was a really big highlight, and I'm just so glad I saw them. I'm getting very distracted here. I know I saved them somewhere. I really want to make sure I have them, because they have a bloody... whatever, I'll figure it out. Anyway, I'm going to put this in new cap and make sure it all works, but peace. I'm happy I'm home. Bye.